Don't be a donut, be a croissant. Here's why. Hi guys, I am about to go on my barefoot hike, but I was in my cashmere silk gown shooting a video, and I just wanted to check in with you because it's surprise, in Portland it's been raining again. And I just wanted to check in with you before I get all muddy and slushy and all that. Say a quick hi for me, guys. Greetings. Good to see you guys. So I just wanted to check in with you today because I got a lot of great feedback from the video I posted yesterday about being a professional marshmallow. And I wanted to just share with you because this insight came through and I wanted to pop it into your vortex here. So a lot of times we look at filling our lives up, entering into new opportunities, whether it's wanting more money, better relationships, more intimacy, connection, better relationships with maybe our parents, or if you have children, or just with yourself, right? Better life for you. Hi guys, say a quick hi. Good to see you, Tiffany. So what I wanted to share with you about being a donut, don't be the donut. So when we think about being a donut, we think about needing to fill the hole with stuff, meaning like what we're doing with our focus, with our attention, is we're bringing things in from outside. So get this. So if you are being a donut, you are aiming to bring things from outside, whether it's relationships, sexual needs, food, just connection, fear of abandonment, whatever it is. We're bringing things in from outside of us, money, things that we want to bring in. Now, in order to move away from being a donut and trying to fill something that's actually never capable of being filled from the donut perspective, ain't gonna happen, never. What we want to think about is being a croissant. A little bit more sophisticated, a little bit more refined, a little bit more delicate, but complete and layered, meaning the good things take time to build. The good things don't just come just slapping things together, whipping things together really quickly, hastily. And also things that we really want and the way to sustain our financial stability, relationships, health, well-being, all of that great stuff. It doesn't come by bringing things from the outside in. It actually comes by replenishing and nourishing ourselves. And I've been meeting a lot of people, men and women, who share with me that their intention is to continuously create relationships and sustain their sense of nourishment inside, which means to continuously build upon what they really are and to sustain it and to nourish it and to replenish it from the inside. And that awareness, the awareness that we have, the consciousness that we have, the attention and the focus that we can put there, that we have on the croissant, the fullness, the wholeness that's already there, that's already in place, that's already built and developed layer upon layer upon layer on itself, that has potential to stay whole and to be whole and to develop out in other areas that is best for it, right? That's what we really are. We have layers of our consciousness and layers of our awareness and different levels of our perspective that we can invite into our reality, that then we can decide what we want to do with it. And so if you think about it as far as being a croissant, you are coming from a place of wholeness versus coming from the place of a donut where you're trying to fulfill something from the outside and bring it in. And so a lot of times I find that in the coaching that I do with most people, no matter what their age is, whether they're in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. Yes, I have clients in 80s as well as 20s. And so it doesn't matter what age we're at. It's merely a matter of where we're putting our focus and where we're framing our perspective. Where are we framing what we're bringing in? And my teacher Ajahn has a lot of talks about reframing, how the Buddha talks a lot about reframing perspective, reframing based on what it is that we want to receive. And so rather than allowing our mindset to be that of a donut where we're trying to constantly fill things in the hole, never going to happen, never going to ever be fulfilled with the donut scenario, we think of it as a croissant. It's delicate, it's layered, you know, there's an art to it, there's a craft to it, and that's the same with your mind and your level of focus. It's very delicate. It can go off and run off, get distracted upon so many different things if we're coming from donut perspective, because the things from outside are always going to feel like maybe it's that, maybe it's this, maybe I get fulfillment from here or from here. And so if that's the framing, if that's how we are framing our perspective and our level of focus and attention, no matter what is happening outside of you, good, bad, all of the in-between, if we're coming from donut perspective, no matter what it is outside of us, we're always going to be like, ooh, maybe it's this, maybe it's this, maybe it's this. And so we want to come from already that whole perspective, the completeness already, and then learn how to replenish it and sustain that. And so that's the croissant. I love that. One of the monks, actually, that I was friends with before he became a monk, he was studying to be a monk, so he could actually talk to me and connect with me at the monastery where I practice. He is French, and he used to make croissants. And one of the times that I went to the monastery to visit my teacher, Ajahn, he was sharing with me in the kitchen that he was so excited because it was the last time that he was getting to craft his croissants, because he said when he was a monk, or when now he is a monk, but when he became a monk, he said, you know, I can't cook after that point. And so he was so, you know, in this state of joy, making croissants. And he told me that there was a perfection over time, a refinement over time, you know, and in France, it's, you know, stuff that they practice, and something that he was taught by his mom, grandmother, and he was showing some of us in the kitchen. And, you know, we want to learn how to step into that refinement and then learn how to polish it, learn how to refine along the way, versus coming from the incomplete perspective of the donut and trying to fill it constantly with things coming from outside of us. Moses and Travis, yes, good to see you. Good to see you guys. You know, I'm definitely, you know, when I think about what's good for us, self-growth and all of the stuff we want to step into, it all comes back to self-reliance, being able to take care of ourselves with ease, and being able to sustain our well-being, and being able to reduce suffering, and being able to direct our focus wherever we want to. And that's the baseline for Buddhist practices, for my Buddhist practice, and it's what I've been practicing. And when I teach from that perspective, from that kind of framing, it's really easy to keep going on path and feel really good about where we're going, feel really good about the journeying along the way, feel really good about whoever comes on our path, because we can handle it, and we don't get thrown off because we're not coming from an incomplete perspective as the donut would, but we're coming from more of a full perspective, a completeness within us, and we're learning how to sustain that along the way, along the path. And so when we get thrown and tested along the way, or we get distracted because maybe our mind goes a little bit dull, maybe we get tired, we lose sleep, something happens in our reality, and we may not have the emotional capacity to work through it, or we do, but we are just kind of latching on to the world, which happens, but that's where the practice comes in for sustainability and well-being, and finding a way to be on the path and feel that wholeness, feel that completion, and not needing to pull in stuff from the outside in order to fill us up, because that's just gonna make you nauseous at the end of the day, and it's gonna have you feel incomplete and like you just wasted a bunch of years of your life, and you don't want that. And I know that you guys also want to be able to help others as well, and in order to do that, we have to be the demonstration. And so that's how we help people. It's not about shoving information down their throats, or the social media platforms. It's not about giving information out. It's about being, as Gandhi said, being the change, being that, demonstrating that, showing up as the person that you want to be, because you're deliberately, intentionally coming from the place of who you want to be, and the words you speak are coming from a place of intention because you've been crafting that along the years, or maybe you're in a state of presence and focus with your thoughts, and you're feeling deliberate about what you're choosing to feel, because that's one of the only things that we can control, is how we are choosing to feel and think about what we're feeling and thinking. And then of course our words and our actions that get replicated or expressed on the path is directly related to the thing that we actually want to be, the thing that we actually want to show people, the way that we actually want to express ourselves. And then of course along our path, we're obviously then going to attract people just like that, people who respect that, who value that, who don't want to poo-poo all over your path, in denial of it, or in hate of it, or jealousy of it. But you actually start to and will attract only people who align with and resonate with you on the path of that. The resonance, the like attracts like, the rapport that's built, the connection that's developed. Before I go on my hike here, was it 2 days ago, I was hiking barefoot, which I try to hike barefoot every time I go, and a young woman, she was in her late 20s, saw me walking barefoot and in my meditative space, and then I passed her along the second time, and she had taken her shoes off, and she said, "I just wanted to share with you that you inspired me to go barefoot and really ground on the path and really connect with myself on the path." And I was like, that's it. That's what we're trying to do, right? That's it. I didn't have to try. I didn't have to force something in her way. I didn't have to say anything. I didn't have to use words. How powerful is that, when we don't have to use words? We just demonstrate our being. We just show up and be present with ourselves in our power. And because of that, because it's so powerful, people feel it. And they're like, I can do that too. I'm going to try that on. I'm going to see how that fits for me. I didn't have to say anything. I didn't have to try. I didn't have to work at it. There was no effort involved. It was just being in the space of me connecting with me, with my path, with what I want. I didn't have any even intention of having other people have to be like that. It was just something that happened because I was in alignment with myself on my path. And so that's how it happens. We gotta be it if we want to see it. We gotta be it if we want to see it, right? I'm gonna start rapping pretty soon. Okay, so I'm gonna head out on my barefoot hike. I know I'm obsessed with it. It's so yummy. It's so powerful. It's so present. It just gets you in the zone of being with yourself, connecting with nature. It's totally free. You don't need to buy new shoes. Like, I just bought 3 pairs of new running shoes, and it's like, I didn't need these, but it's okay. I love supporting businesses as well with great products. But as soon as I bought my 3 pairs of shoes, I was like, I don't even need these. How cool. So, guys, everything we need is within us because we are that completion, and it's just about us realizing that, which is what all the great ones say about self-realization, right? I mean, that's the point of saying the words to you, realization. It's about realizing that you are that. So be the croissant, be the croissant, not the donut. Everything is happening inside of you. That's where the practice is taking place. That's where it's all happening from. Massage it. Be good to yourself. Be kind to yourself. And I will check in with you soon. Ciao.